Hey, yo, what's up, man?
Not much. I've been watching a lot of My Hero Academia and Chainsaw Man.
All right. All right, I can see you now. There you are.
So where should we start?
All right, first order of business before we go to this review. How was your birthday? You
I
didn't do
feel
anything, did you?
I feel the passage of time slowly creeping away as my bones begin to ache a little more every single year.
So is that a way of saying that since you're older you don't get presents anymore? Because that happened to me.
No, I got plenty of cash. I bought tickets for the Royal Rumble.
Oh, you are going?
Oh yeah,
All right.
we booked it.
Did you
Yeah.
get the tickets where people are gonna spit and get blood in?
No. Those are way too expensive. We got nosebleed seats for $100 each. Those are the
All right.
nosebleed seats.
All right, neat. You're
I,
gonna take a rollback poster and just carry it in?
yes, I'm gonna try. I doubt we're gonna end up anywhere on the Titantron, but fuck it. Subscribe to the Rollback, the worst
if it
podcast you've never heard of.
if it happens, it happens. Then it's good. I feel like this is an audio podcast, but I feel like since my webcam is like right in front of a window, I
Yeah.
always look like a fucking ghost in these things every
Pale as
time we're
fuck.
recording. Yeah, I just look bad. I need to get in the sun. Um, Before we jump into Chainsaw Man and the actual review, I'm gonna see you next weekend.
Hey, you're coming next
It's
weekend?
official. It's official. I'm gonna be there Friday and Saturday. Uh,
Badass. What are we doing? What do you want to do?
Friday we're gonna have like a little Christmas party, and then you're coming. So
Hell
I'll
yeah.
let you.
Where at?
I'll let you know about the time. Probably Jimmy's place, but like I'll let you know.
I will bring alcohol and games.
Sounds great. Yeah, I'll let you know more about that. What else? What else? What else? No, I think we're good. Where are you on My Hero? We'll talk about Chainsaw Man and Violent Night in a second. But where are you at in My Hero? Did you pass the Stain arc?
Um, Stain was captured. The last thing I remember, Stain was captured, and they're just finishing up their internships. And what's it called? Ida? Sorry, Ida.
Ida? Yeah.
They told him that his like left hand or right hand may never be the same. That he needs a nerve transplant, and he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna keep this until I get Stain."
Yeah, that's cold.
Like, dude, no. So legit, up until that point of My Hero Academia, I didn't feel too invested. I was never like, yeah, like I get that feeling with Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super sometimes, where I'm like, yeah, like the fight scene and stuff, like you're cheering, like you're watching an actual battle.
Yeah.
And thus far, I have yet to have that moment in My Hero Academia. Even with the fights that happened at the Hero Festival,
Sports
still,
Festival? Yeah.
yeah, the sports festival, still, I never really got that. I was like, damn, Deku, like you go, but I was still
Yeah.
never like all in. And then when Ida and Deku both like double like punch and kicked Stain at the same time, I
Oh
found
yeah.
myself cheering for them in my office. So I'm like, you know what? Okay, like I'm in this. I'm in. I'm invested.
Nice. That's
So
also
yeah, now
I,
I'm clipped in.
I believe Todoroki joins them in that fight too, because Deku just like senses location, right? And then he shows up.
Yeah, he's his location. Todoroki shows up.
Yeah.
I think some other like backups were supposed to show up too and stuff.
But that's later. Yeah.
But Stain
Um,
though is actually a pretty like good villain, I think. Like he has very rigid morals, but his morals are like ingrained. Like you're a kid, I'm not gonna kill you. Oh, you want to push it and you want to act like a hero? Okay, then here are the consequences of your actions.
yeah. Stained is a character that I think adds a lot of 3D to the world. Like it makes it less about heroes versus villains and makes it more of like that there's so many vigilantes and people that stand right in the middle. So I think he elevates the world a lot. And I also like that in any other story, Todoroki would be like the rival character, he would be like the villain, but I like that he genuinely like likes Deku, like they're genuinely friends, like to the point where like he just received the location and he was like, I guess I'll just show up. Like Like he gave me no context, but it's like, okay, I'll just go.
Like just a friend.
Like he just
Um,
shows up. Yeah. He's
uh,
great. I love the little friendship dynamic between those two.
yeah, I am curious though. As the series goes forward, doesn't Bakugo more or less become his Vegeta?
Um Barely on season 6, he's starting to like show shades of that. And even because I'm like a little bit ahead of the manga, but I don't know. Bakugo goes he becomes empathic. You start to empathize with him a little too late, if that makes sense.
What do you
Like
mean?
I don't think I think he's the worst written character in the whole show. I don't like him, and I don't like how much how like central to the story he's put. I think literally every other character is more interesting. Like Ida,
Mhm.
this is the last big thing Ida's gonna do for like the rest of the show. Like,
Really?
yeah,
This feels like the ground support for him to do more big things in the future.
yeah. We're
Well,
still
actually,
waiting for that.
well, I did notice though they did expand the cast quite a bit from season one to season two. That now they're investing us in like more characters.
Yeah, we
Like,
add like more pro heroes, like who they're doing their internships with. All those characters will become staples. Like they're all gonna be there.
mhm,
But every like half of a season, we're gonna focus on like a little bit more on like some characters. Like for example, when they're doing a tournament, we're gonna focus on like the characters that are in the tournament.
mhm.
There's an arc, I believe, in season 3 or season 4, where they have a school festival and they have to put up like a little performance, and the whole arc just becomes about that performance. So the action kind of takes a backside, and even the intro changes to focus on the characters that are going to be the focus. So that's what it does because it handles a large cast. Um, and because of that, I think it's a little difficult to like give priority to everyone. So sometimes Ida, so right now Ida is the focus, then someone else will be the focus. It's gonna vary depending on like the part of the season where you're at.
Mhm. All right, I
Yeah,
guess I have to watch more of it then.
yeah. Um, I love the just one last thing on that thing. They're all doing like their little work studies with a pro hero. I love that Uraraka is doing it with a guy called Gunhead or Machine Gunhead or something like that.
Yeah, and he
I
turned out to be
love
really
that.
nice actually.
He's so nice. I love that he's so nice. Like he's this big, muscly guy with like a gun for a head, and he's just like showing her self-defense, and he's like his mannerisms are really exciting. I love it. I love that part. There's even I don't know if you passed it already, but there's a scene where like her and Deku are speaking on the phone, and
Oh,
Gunhead
Deku's like,
comes
oh
up.
my god, just talk to a girl.
Yeah, and then Gunhead is like, "Oh my god, were you talking to a boy?" Like it's so. I don't know. I love that the show always takes a moment to remind us that hey, these are kids. Like they're going through kid stuff as well.
They're teenagers, and I mean,
Yeah,
what? They're 15-year-olds, 14-year-olds that were just in the middle of a huge battle that could have killed them.
yeah, pretty much.
Oh, I found it. Okay, I found this meme the other day, and this is
Yeah,
relevant. It says, "Bad guys don't deserve a nose," and it has four pictures. I think it should have five. As Voldemort, the Red Skull, the guy from Stranger Things. I can't remember his name.
the Vecna guy.
Vecna, Davy Jones, and I think it should have Stain on it. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, damn. Serve
Okay, I
noses.
found it. I was like, damn, where the hell's that picture? I know I saved it somewhere.
It's fucking good. Okay, Chainsaw Man.
This felt like a bit like a filler episode, actually, to me.
Really?
Because, like, okay, granted, we got to find out about Masaki. No, Miyasaka's
Makima.
Makima. Thank you. I'm
This
getting a
is
little bit
episode
better.
this is episode 8. You haven't pronounced her name right once.
Makima. All right, so this is I know Denji. All right, fuck you. I
Yeah,
know
yeah,
that one. But yeah, this one felt like a bit like a filler to me. Like I didn't feel like there was a lot of like forward progress in the story. I got no answers. I'm like, okay, how is everyone else going to come back to life? Like Makima, that's one. What
yeah.
about Denji? What about the other dude with the sword? What about Power? Like, what's the fallout? Like, I'm feel like I'm waiting for like the other shoe to drop to get to the point where it's like these characters are either back at 100% or at the very least we have confirmation that they're all alive. So I really felt like this was a filler because I'm like, you're gonna stretch it out, aren't you? You're gonna stretch it out to the
They're
last
stretching it.
episode.
They're stretching it out in the way that they want you to feel the weight of everything. So that's why the characters move a little slower. That's why the story is a little quiet. This episode was to show off Makima. I think we got a little bit of answers for her. One of the most not terrifying, but like genuinely creepy and eerie scenes in the manga and in the anime is when they shoot Makima in the head, and then they just turn around and there she is standing up, just staring at them with all the blood in her clothes. Like when I first read that, I was going crazy. And in the show, they managed to capture it pretty well. I thought it was gonna be like a horror movie slow pan, like they just turn to her and she's standing there, but it's just a quick cut. She's there. We got to see her power, which I think is also fucking creepy. Like when she like brought people to their knees and it's like say their name, and then she just like crushed them with her hands. That I think is great.
So what they say that her deals with which devils are classified.
Yeah, we're not allowed to know her contracts.
See, I'm wondering though, does she have a contract or is she actually a devil herself?
I'm not gonna say.
I'm betting that she's a devil herself.
I'm not gonna say.
Because like at that level of power, like, come on, she can
Oh,
kill
she's
people from a
powerful.
far distance.
She's powerful. Yes.
I mean, if anything, like she could, she's in theory their like nuclear option. Like, hey, either you comply or we're going to start to kill your most valuable assets from the top down, and we have the inmates to do it. So, what do you want?
What you just said, keep that in mind.
I'm right.
Because it's not no you it's not like you're right. You're just on the right path. So just remember that what you just said.
All right,
Uh,
fine. How many
all
episodes
right.
is this season? Is it 12 or is it 10?
It's gonna be 12, and then they're not gonna cover the whole first part of the first season. So I'm thinking they're gonna do like a second part or a second season pretty soon.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Also, we got to see little Kobeni have a little shining moment at the end.
Oh yeah, with the knife.
Yeah.
I was like, what the
The
fuck is this?
with the knife and the gun. Like finally, like I want everyone that made fun of her and complained about her yelling and screaming to watch that scene and see how they still feel about her. So
I mean,
yeah.
I still think she was annoying. Like she should have held her shit together better. I'll say it.
She's a child.
I don't give a damn. She is in a match. She is in an adult profession.
So yeah, so she's good. Himeno is out. Himeno's fucking dead. Power is good. Aki's good. We see at the end that they're gonna merge all the Devil Hunter divisions into one, and Makima will be in charge of them.
Oh, so that was the plan.
That was the plan. Yeah,
So she wants to be in
perhaps.
charge of all the devil hunters.
I mean, there's a few Devil Hunters left. There's Violence. There's Beam, who's a Shark Devil, and of course there's Angel, the Angel Devil, who's going to become Aki's new partner. So those will be like the new characters that we're going to meet, most likely next episode.
What's it called? When do we meet the angel? When do we meet the one with the halo?
Guess that's the Angel Devil. The Angel Devil will probably show up in the next episode. Like definitely show up in the next episode because they're going to merge them together.
Okay. All right, fair enough, fair enough. I can wait for that, I guess.
Yeah. The Angel Devil is eerie, man. Like the Angel Devil is fucking eerie and creepy.
Is that the one that people ship with Denji for some reason? Like I see a lot of like they pair Denji with power.
Shipping Denji and Power is weird, man. I don't know. I don't see it. I think they're just buddies. I see the Angel Devil being shipped with Aki more than anyone else. So
oh, we're gonna find out then. Let's see what happens.
hell yeah. All right. So what else? What else we gotta
Oh, I have a weird question because you traveled way more than I have.
I mean, it's a
Trust me, you've traveled way more than I have. So I have a weird question.
All right, go ahead.
Would you say you've traveled up north quite a bit or somewhat?
Up north,
Like towards Austin, San Antonio.
I've been to Austin more than enough times, yeah.
Okay. What's the furthest north that you've ever gone where they still had barbacoa?
Oh my God, probably Austin.
Austin, really? But Austin has barbacoa.
Austin has everything, man.
Really?
Austin
Okay.
is Austin is one of the great American cities. Like it's got so much.
Huh. Okay. All right. Fair
Yeah.
enough. I was really curious. Me and Nikki had breakfast, and I was like, I wonder how far north you could go and still have this. Because Nikki's brother, he's in DC, and I mean, there's like one store that has hot Cheetos. Yeah.
They don't even
Yeah.
sell those here.
Huh?
They don't even sell those here.
Hot Cheetos.
You have no idea the market that exists of people that just go to like McAllen and then come back here and then they just sell hot Cheetos. Like it is insane.
So what you're saying is, if I were to send you a box of hot Cheetos and you sell them, we split the profit, and then I send you another box.
I mean, my sister will probably eat them all before I got to sell them, but yeah.
So we lace some of them with poison, and we don't tell her. And whatever happens,
Oh my
happens.
God. Oh my God. This movie left you with some ideas, didn't it?
Speaking of, let's talk about Violent Night. Thank you for welcoming us onto your screens or onto your headphones, depending on how you're watching this. I'm St. Nicholas.
And I'm Chris Kringle reviewing Violent Night. This is
Is the
the
rollback.
rollback. Holy shit. When a team of mercenaries breaks into a wealthy family compound on Christmas Eve, taking everyone inside hostage, the team isn't prepared for a surprise combatant. Santa Claus is on the grounds and he's about to show why this Nick is no saint. So we have a new movie directed by Tommy Wirkola that dropped out of fucking nowhere. I didn't see any promotion, any kind of trailers. The movie, I just saw the movie poster like show up on my movie theater app. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And then you told me, hey, we should watch this. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm watching this. So I went to see it last night. It stars David Harbour from Stranger Things, John Leguizamo, and a couple more actors who play the family. And it's about a violent Santa Claus. And I had no expectations. I thought this was just gonna be like a normal violent movie. I didn't think this was gonna be a hard R. Like, do you know how long it's been since I've seen a hard R movie in theaters?
I think Deadpool 2, maybe, or the
I don't
original
know.
Deadpool.
I don't know.
Maybe
I don't
Logan.
remember.
Maybe
Like I don't
Logan.
remember. I remember I was buying the tickets online and I got like a little pop-up that said like, remember, there's a plus 18 movie, make sure to bring your ID. And I was like, what the? I never get this. This is weird. And then we went to see the movie and there was someone being carted at the entrance and being told, oh, I'm sorry, you can't go in. We can change your tickets to another movie, but you can't go in. And I was like, oh my God, they're actually enforcing this? Like
Yeah.
really? Damn. And then I walk in, I was like, whoa, how violent is this movie? Very, very violent. So, like,
Pretty clear.
just,
It doesn't mean it's a bad movie, but it is a very violent film.
yeah, like I did not expect it was so violent and so mean spirited and so fucking funny, man. Like, I had a blast watching this. I did not expect to like it so much.
It's one of those weird movies that comes out of nowhere. Like it
Yeah.
legitimately comes out of nowhere. It's oh my God. It's like Fat Man, but like on steroids. I
Oh, the Mel
this
Gibson
movie,
one from last year?
huh? The Mel Gibson one from last year. Yeah, it felt like
Yeah.
Fat Man, but like on steroids. Like they try to do a realistic take. Santa has some gripes with the current generation, which is like, okay, fine, but he doesn't make it his whole character shtick of like, oh, they
Yeah.
want our video games and cash.
Yeah.
And like even at one point, that's the joke. Like he keeps pulling stuff out of the sack. He's like, video game, DVD, video game. God damn it, another video game. Fuck, did someone get a bat or something?
Yeah.
Um, but no, this movie is a hard R, and Santa is tired of people's shit.
Yeah.
He's even considering retiring at one point.
Yeah, there's so much happening with the Santa because they give him a lore and they give him like a backstory, but then at the same time, it's half done because half of it is like a backstory and then the other half is like Christmas magic. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't care. Like he's clearly doesn't care. Like he wants to. I feel like there's a part of him that wants to care again,
Yeah.
and that's worked into the movie.
But see, part of it is though, is like yeah, he's tired, he's exhausted, he's tired of the shit. But from the fucking get-go, they make it very clear this is not your everyday Santa. This is not bad Santa with attitude. No, this he most far out Santa ever.
Yeah, definitely.
Um Man, even the opening scene where he's flying and she's like, "Oh my god, he's real," and then
He's greatest intro ever. Like
I was
the
like,
fact that he
"No."
goes and like throws up on the woman, and like she's not even phased. She's kind of like she can't. You can't even read her expression. It's
She's
so like
like, no, she's like in shock, like, did that
yeah.
really just happen?
Yeah,
It's like
we
a
need to
bird
talk about this.
it's like a bird
Yeah,
shitting on you, but like 100 times worse.
yeah, like a million times worse. We need to talk about this Santa. We need to talk about David Harbour as Santa. He plays a wonderful Santa. Like when he's soft and caring, you can really feel it. And but when he's badass and like a drunk and all that, you can also feel it. First of all, I love that it's a red leather suit. Like that looks badass, right?
Dude, I hate to say it, now I want one.
Right? Like when I
I
noticed that it was leather, I was like, "Oh my god, that's a cool idea. That's so cool!" Like it was like a biker.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
okay, so the part that made me go, "What the fuck has this guy been through?" is the part where he's taking off the jacket. He takes off like
Oh,
the
you see the
under
tattoos?
leather, and
Yeah.
yeah, that, and then he's stitching himself up, and I'm just like, "What the fuck?" And then you get a glimpse into his past, and it makes
Yeah.
sense because he comes from Norse mythology. It makes sense.
Yeah. He reminded me of what they made Thor look like in the new God of War game. Have you seen it?
I have not actually.
Well, he kind of looks like this. So it's kind of perfect. Uh yeah, but he's great. I like that he threads that needle. Like he could have very easily be like a very obvious joke, like, oh, this fucking kids with their TikToks and their shit. And no, he there's a part of it that really wants to like believe again. And it's done subtly. When he receives the notice of the girl, of the daughter, you really believe the connection that they're building and that he wants to help her for like the good of things. And I like that you mentioned this when we reviewed the movie Nobody, that you like that he's not a perfect fighter from the beginning. Like he kind of grows into it. He gets hit, he gets punched back. Same thing
Oh,
happens here. Yeah.
a lot. The fight scenes in this movie are off the wall. Like I know there's like a family at the center of the story, and like there's like, oh, this family of this, and are they separating or not? What's going on? I know there's like a whole through plot, but to me, the whole thing is holy shit, Santa is violent. Santa's very violent in this film.
Yeah. Yeah, so they do that, and he has a mallet, like he has a big hammer, the skull
Skull
crusher.
Crusher? Yes.
Yeah, skull crusher now has to become part of the Santa Claus lore. Like I declare it. Every Coca-Cola commercial with Santa, everything that has Santa Claus in it, you have to give him the hammer. It's part of the identity now.
There's a have you ever heard of the movie The Guardians? It's the one with Santa Claus.
The Rise
There's
of
a
the
sleepy
Guardians?
one, Jack Frost.
Yeah, the
You remember
animated
that?
one, right? Yeah.
Okay. So I always thought that was the most badass Santa ever. And now I'm like, now he has competition. Seriously, this is the kind of Santa that would be in like a comic book like lore. Like if DC had a Santa, I would want it to be this guy. If Marvel had a Santa, I would want it to be this guy.
Yeah, and in a weird way, it also is a pretty fun Christmas movie. Like it's got so many callbacks to like Die Hard and the what's it called? The fuck Jesus, I forgot the
Home
English name
Alone?
for it. Yeah, Home Alone. Uh yeah,
Man, someone
yeah. In Spanish, it's not called Home Alone, by the way. So that's why I was thinking of the Spanish name.
no, you're good.
Yeah,
Okay. So I remember reading an article, I think it was a cracked article,
yeah.
way back in the day. And they made a point of talking about how if Kevin McAllister actually pulled all those traps on the thieves, they would have been killed. Like between the paint buckets smashing you at full force to the nails, the infections, the burns, and everything, you would be dead. Like realistically, it would have killed you. My
Yeah.
chemical monster would have a body count. I was like, I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if I believe that. After watching this film, oh, okay, yeah, no, they were right. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and it makes sense. Like it makes sense here, and there's a lot of great scenes featured that. I remember that. Look, any movie that can make the audience be like on their toes and like almost covering their eyes in some scenes, I think it's doing a good job. It happened twice in my theater. Once when the two robbers are going up the stairs and she put the nail coming out of it.
Oh,
Yeah,
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 yeah.
that whole sequence had my theater in like no, 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 but like in a funny way because it just kept escalating and it kept going up. It was so great, and it happened there, and then it happened again. I think earlier when they're having the discussion in the living room, and the movie made my theater gasp when the dad tells the daughter, "Santa Claus is not real." Like
Oh, yeah.
everyone in my theater went like, no. Like everyone cared so much
It's one
for
of the few
this.
universal lies that we have all partaken in. Well,
Oh
okay.
my god.
Can I tell you a wrestling story real quick that
Yeah.
is
Yes, but
relevant to this?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
a number of years ago, Daniel Bryan, Bryan the Daniel, the GOAT, the American Dragon, he turned heel, right? Do you know who Daniel Bryan is or Bryan Danielson?
No idea. You said American Dragon. I thought you meant Jake Long.
Oh, damn it. Okay. So this guy, he turned into a bad guy. He was the most like wholesome hero, good guy. Everyone loved him, everyone cheered for him. And then he became an eco nut bad guy, right? He would shame you for not recycling, whatever.
Okay.
Huge monster heat, though. Everyone loved him. Well, everyone hated him, but everyone loved him. On the Christmas episode of SmackDown, right? Right before Christmas, in a crowd with like 10,000 people, I'm sure a couple thousand kids were in the attendance, right? I'm sure some of those kids still believed in Santa when they walked into that building. They didn't believe in Santa when they walked out.
Oh my god.
Because this guy said, "You all lie. Every person in here participates in this yearly lie where you fake your kids and you tell them about an imaginary man who loves the planet that's going to save the world. He can't because he's not real."
My
And he
god.
outed Santa to an arena full nuclear heat, sir. Nuclear heat. They received so many complaints from parents when that happened. So just so I don't know. I feel like that was relevant to this. Like when he outs, Santa's not real. It's like,
Yeah.
sir, you're a little behind on the times. This guy did it in front of a couple thousand kids. Calm down.
It's it's just really funny that it happened in like that like my theater gasped. Like they were genuinely like, oh no, like they were in a bad situation already and it just got way worse.
Like way to
Um
destroy her humanity, man.
yeah. Um I feel like on movies like this, you have to really care about the family, and it was hard to do in this. Because like the little girl, I wanted to defend. The mother, I wanted to defend. Daughter, sorry, the father, I was on thin ice. Everyone else could fucking die. I will say this: the grandmother, like the matriarch of the family, had genuinely funny like jabs. Like everything that she said was like stupidly funny in a very mean way. Like this reminded me of like Krampus. Remember Krampus from a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
Like that family was also like stupidly unlikable. And then in this one, it's like kind of a similar thing. But at the end, when they're walking towards the money, and the mom is like, "This family has a tradition of betraying one another for money. I'm kind of proud of you that you did it to me." Like that was a genuinely funny scene. I was laughing at that.
Not since bodies, bodies, bodies. If I hated some characters so much.
Oh my god.
For real. I was like, you know what? We can waste some of them. It's fine. Because they're douchebags. And also I hate like secondary, third generation money. I just do. So fuck
Yeah.
these young people. Fuck these kids. Fuck that extra side of the family. Um,
um. Yeah.
what's it called? Although I thought like, man, that's kind of mean. when the daughter gives the mom the picture of, oh, it's a sentimental picture from when I was born, and she's like, I know, I was there, and she tosses the picture.
I
Like,
would honestly, I get it. Like,
like fuck, okay,
honestly,
ow.
that scene I got. That to me was like the scene in the menu when he goes, "You're all gonna die," and then the girl's like, "But I've been good in my life. Like I haven't done anything bad." And he goes, "Student loans? No, you're dead." Like that to me
You're
was like
dying.
this. Like, oh, you dead?
Oh man, no, it was good for the most part all the way around. Like the just like of the family and whatnot, and even the part with the mercenaries and the kill squad. Like I felt like that's a little too real. And then when the mercenaries turn their back on the like I'm like, okay, yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When they shot the husband,
Yes.
yeah, like that was like, okay, what's happening? Oh, they have control of them. Makes sense.
Okay. So, what were some other highlights that you had for this film?
Santa Claus shoving a grenade up a soldier's butt. That was pretty good. And then him like walking away and then being like, I have to watch, and then just turning
I have
around
to
and like,
watch.
yeah, like the explosion.
This movie was a
Uh
hard R, like hard
yeah,
R.
yeah. And oh god, the when Harbor did the new Hellboy, that was also a hard R. And I remember feeling like, all right, I guess this fine, this is okay, but like it's not great. And this one, this Violent Night is not perfect.
Mhm.
I will say this, I think it's a little too long. It doesn't need to be 2 hours. I think
Mhm.
90 minutes would have been like absolutely perfect.
But what would you cut
But
though?
see, that's a great question. That's a great question. I don't know. I feel like even then, I feel like this is an extended cut of a movie that could have been 90 minutes. And if we watched this, we would have been like, oh, this is so much better. But I don't know. Maybe because I'm wanting more like 90-minute movies. I don't know what I would cut. Probably a little bit of the backstory. Because either way, we don't get it resolved. And like a lot of things he just kind of goes, oh well, like Christmas magic, no explanation.
Yeah, and
Like
they're like,
why
how does
yeah,
it
why
work?
explain
I don't know.
some and then not explain all? Like, and even then, why do I want explanation? It's a dumb Christmas violence movie. Like, I don't need explanation. I don't need that. Um, so yeah, it's off. Like it's funny. I feel like if I was a kid and when I was walking around Blockbuster trying to find a movie to rent, and I saw these in the movies that I wasn't supposed to watch, I would like stare at the cover for like a little bit and then
And
like burn it into my
you'd probably
mind.
steal the
And
damn movie, huh?
I never did that. That anyone knows. Uh yeah. No, it's just I don't know. I never I feel like that happened to me as a kid. Like I would stare at movies that I wasn't supposed to watch and I would just burn them into my mind and then I recheck them out as an adult. I feel like this would be one of them. But I'm glad I watched it. You know, I got some solid laughs out of it. I got the violence was pretty fun. And like I said, any movie that can make the audience react in a fun way is great. John Leguizamo plays a freaking great villain. Like you could tell like he's really having a blast with like all the Christmas puns and all the Christmas jokes that he's constantly making. Um, so I thought that was great. And I like that the movie only takes place like the whole movie takes place in the house. Like it's just
For the
them
most
in
part,
the
it's contained.
yeah, for the most part it's contained in the house. Um, they burn money at the end and kind of for nothing.
And fucking, isn't one of them like, he's already dead. Don't burn the money. Don't burn the money. It's like, come on, Pablo Escobar burned $1 million for his daughter.
Yeah, but that was like 16 million that they burned, and they had another like 300 million like over there in the bank. So like, what's the
Ex-
problem, really?
exactly. Calm the fuck down.
Yeah. I did like the little jab he gives at the end when he goes, Santa, you saved us. How can we thank you? It's like, well, you brought me back to life, so you know, let's call it even.
What's called?
Yeah.
I want to mention the okay. To me, one of the best scenes of a dude single-handedly taking out a team, right?
Yeah.
Is the Batman warehouse scene, right? In BVS.
Mhm.
Okay. This movie has a scene that might top it.
Really?
That
Huh.
farmhouse scene. Tell me
Oh, the
that
farmhouse
farmhouse
scene.
scene.
Farmhouse scene was pretty fun. When he leaves them at the end, with the rope to the machine. Ah, that was great.
Man, it was fucking nuts. The whole thing. Even the candy cane, the swipes, just
Yeah.
the whole thing was just batshit nuts. Wait,
And then
clear.
at
I
the
enjoyed
end,
this whole film, but damn.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. And then at the end when he's fighting hand to hand with Leguizamo, and he crushes him by going through the
Oh,
chimney.
and there's this thing, yeah.
Yeah. He does a thing with the nose and he goes, oh God, it was great.
And I love
Oh
how
man.
it was stayed within lore. Like it made sense. Like he was doing that earlier. He was like, I can't do it. And I was just like,
Yeah.
gotcha, bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a callback. And
But it
then
was perfect.
yeah, and then I like how they also have that scene when he goes, well, my wish is that I want to see Mrs. Claus again. And then at the end when he gets the reindeers back and everything, and there's a note from Mrs. Claus that says, thought you might need this, and it's the skull crusher.
The
Like it's
OG.
like she knows him. It's great.
What's called? So I already looked it up.
Yeah.
I'm checking to see if there's a sequel in mind, and they said it kind of depends, but everyone that worked on the film apparently wants to do a sequel. It's a $20 million budget. It's a small budget. They could probably another one. I could see it happening. Um,
Sure.
I
Sure.
I think if it
Whatever.
breaks at least 40 mil, they'll do it. Like they doubled their money. Come on.
I
Uh,
mean, this feels like a less budgeted film, like a movie that's not 200 million, but it's also not two. So it's a good middle point. I feel like we need movies like that again. And this is great. This was great to watch and get into like the Christmas spirit in a violent way. So I'm really glad I watched it. It's probably not going to end up in my top 10 of the year, but I'm really glad I watched it.
it just might. I'm not sure. There's been so many weird films this year that my top 10 is going to be very diverse, which I'm looking forward to, actually. I'm actually looking forward to it.
You are
Um,
so welcome for me to show you all those movies. You are so welcome.
I mean, not all of them were your suggestions. I'm just
No,
saying.
all of them were. If it wasn't for me, your number one again would have been something like fucking Aquaman. So you are welcome.
Well, we all know what number one's going to be, but what about number two and numbers two
Uh,
through 10?
your number one might be my number two. We'll see, or my number three. We'll see.
Oh, shit, this is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah.
Also, I'm looking it up right now. I wouldn't mind this. So, John Wick had a budget of 20 mil and it only made $86 million. So, they did a sequel and so on and so forth. I'm hoping this movie does well enough to be able to warrant a sequel, and maybe we can get like a Violent Night series similar to the John Wick series. I wouldn't mind that.
Could be fun. Could be
Um,
fun.
Apparently, John Harbour he wants Charlize Theron to be Mrs. Claus in the sequel.
Shoot your shot, man.
I
Shoot your shot.
would actually wouldn't mind Winona Ryder being Mrs. Claus. I think that'd be cute.
That would be super anxious and so funny. Oh my
And
god.
what if she's like really good with knives? Actually,
Oh god. We'll see. I'm not gonna get too excited about a sequel idea yet. I feel like we do this for every movie that we review. So when they announce it, if they do, and if David Harbour, if he's not busy, but this could be a fun. Like remember when the Saw movies used to come out every Halloween?
yeah.
Like, would you take one of these every Christmas?
I don't think so. Actually, I don't know how the fuck they could keep making them good if they did them every year. Like, that's too quick of a. Because no, the Saw films became like a goddamn novella with like blood and
Yeah.
murder. I don't think they could do Violent Night every year and it'd be good. I think they could do it once every 2 to 3 years and it could be good. Like, but that's just self restraint on my part. Like, you can have too much of a good thing.
Or you can just change the actor who plays Santa. He mentioned he was going to retire, so maybe someone else takes over, like the Tim Allen movie.
Oh man, who would you want to replace him?
Oh my god, he's good. I don't know who else.
I can't think of anyone that would play a good violent Santa though.
You know who could have been fun?
Who?
Rest in peace, but the guy who played Hagrid in the Harry Potter movies.
Oh yeah, okay, I see that one.
Yeah. I don't know who else, but no, he's pretty good. Um,
What about a young? What about and he plays like a fresh Santa, like like he's just out of the academy, brand new. John Cena.
John Cena could be fun. Nobody would see him. You know what? Brendan Fraser is having
A Renaissance.
a renaissance. You know, he could do it in like 3 or 4 years. Why not?
What's called? Oh, oh my God, that's true. Brandon Fraser, but I feel like he's too nice. I don't think he's mean enough.
David Harbour is nice too, and he manages to play these kind of characters so well between this and Hellboy and
No, but
Stranger Things.
no, but Harper has an edge to him. He's like a grizzly bear. Brandon Fraser is more of a teddy bear.
Okay,
You know
all
what I'm
right.
saying?
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Isn't
All
and I mean that in a good way, but I mean
Okay.
it.
All right. What else? What else can we say about this movie? I had a fun time. I barely remember the actors who play the family. Uh,
I mean,
but
the family was kind of secondary in this one. Let's be real.
yeah, it's more about the villain and Santa himself. But I had a blast. I wouldn't mind if this becomes like a modern a classic with along the lines of like Krampus and like this mean spirited Christmas canon movies that we're getting.
Yeah,
I had a good time with it. Yeah.
definitely a great time. I think it's going to become one of my Christmas classics, but we'll talk about that probably next week.
Oh yeah. Um, Speaking of new classics, did you see the new Pinocchio directed by Guillermo del
I
Toro?
I have not.
Let me tell you this. I saw it on Friday night after I got
Uh-huh.
home from work. I was crying by the first 10 minutes, and I think I cried throughout most of it. It is fucking fantastic.
I will be the judge of that.
Okay. But
Well, we can do that one next week.
all right, let's do that one next week.
All right.
Okay. What would you score this? I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. I had a really good time with it. I had a blast. What it's set up to do, it did it. I think it's a little too long. But what does it does pretty well.
Yeah. I'm gonna give this one B plus. Good movie,
B
solid
plus.
film.
Yeah. A good this was a good time in the movies. Like not gonna like I had a blast. Like sometimes I watch a movie and I'm not excited for it and I leave not excited for it. This one not. I had a blast in this one. It was like this was worth the drive. This was worth paying for parking. This was worth the tickets. This was worth everything. So good time. Also, there was they were turning away minors at the entrance, but I saw like a grandma come in and watch this movie. Like my theater was packed, and there was a grandma in there. So yeah,
Damn, imagine how much better the box office would be if they would have let those kids in to watch the movie.
amazing.
No, but this movie was a hard R. This was a hard
Yeah.
R.
Generally, but it was so fun. Like it
was
was
good, though.
so fun. And that's I think the mantra that we're gonna keep for that. All right. I believe that about covers it up for Violent Night. Thank you so much for watching and joining us. You can find our show on iTunes podcast, iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube. You can find small video reviews on the channel. You can find long audio reviews here on the podcast and on the channel as well. Next week we're doing Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, I believe so. We'll see if we can throw in
And our list,
yeah.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
a list of fun Christmas movies that we like. I believe that's it from my end. Eddie, I will see you next week.
Oh shit, we're doing it in person. Oh fuck. Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, why not?
Hell yeah. Okay. Well, folks, we'll see y'all next week. We'll have a very rare. Have we ever done a review in person?
We have not. We'll see how it comes out. Yeah,
Shit.
we'll work on it. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Maybe we want to drink instead of actually review movies.
Yeah, maybe we don't think about work for like a second and we enjoy like some Christmas times.
Some hanging out time.
Some hanging out times. I'm gonna bring I'm gonna bring the greatest ugly Christmas sweater that I've ever seen in my life. I'm bringing it to that.
I will. So I will certainly wear a shirt.
And thank God that you. I'm gonna tell you something after we finish recording. Just remind me of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
okay.
right. Well, I've been Chema. I've been Eddie.
And I've been Eddie.
And this was the rollback with a reminder.
The reminder.
Spread the Christmas cheer, folks. Watch Christmas movies, decorate the house, enjoy the season because it only comes once a year.
I don't have jokes, but that's good enough. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.